Hey everybody, welcome to the Cliff Yates Show podcast. We are recording live on location. Can you believe that? Recording on location right here from Midtown Manhattan. This is my last night here in the city, and I wanted to go live. I actually have the comment bar up on the screen, so if you're watching live on YouTube and you have a comment about New York City, and if it's a positive one, if it's not a hater, I'll bring it right into the show. If you have any questions about New York, you have any comments, maybe your experience in New York, I want to see it in the comments. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, always good, positive, impacting material. Always you're going to like the content. Subscribe to the channel. You're going to love it. I wanted to go live because I like doing it, because I get to see comments. And what do we really seek nowadays? Authenticity, right? We want to know, is that fake? Is that created? I don't like shit that's over-edited. I like to see it live, right? It's like watching a traffic accident. You never know what's going to happen, and we want to see it. So here I am. I do have some video I took. I didn't take a lot of video on this trip, but I did take some video, and it's just been a great trip. 5 nights I've spent here in New York. I've been coming to New York City since 1983. Now, in a row, I've come 27 years in a row. I came with my wife. 27 years in a row. We've come during Christmas time. This is the first time I've been here on Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas to you all. But I've never been here before on Christmas Day. My wife and I would come during Christmas season, either the week, 2 weeks before Christmas, sometimes the week after Christmas. And we have a timeshare here in New York City at the Hilton Grand Vacations right here in Midtown. We have at the Hilton at 6th Avenue and 53rd, or 6th Avenue between 53rd and 54th, that block, 1335 Avenue of the Americas, which is the same as 6th Avenue, Avenue of the Americas. And we actually own here now. We did initially buy Hilton Grand Vacations I'm pointing as if that's Las Vegas over there. We did initially buy in Las Vegas, and then we always wanted to own here in New York, but on this property, and there was nothing left here to buy except for properties that had a 99-year lease, and we didn't want that. We wanted to leave it to the kids when we're gone so they can continue to come and enjoy New York City. Now, we love coming to New York during Christmas time. There's nothing more Christmas than being here in Midtown Manhattan, seeing all the lights, the tree at Rockefeller Center. We love Broadway shows, musicals. I've always loved Broadway shows and musicals since 1983. That was, actually my first one was 1993, was my first Broadway musical. I'm aging myself. Blood Brothers with Petula Clark and the Cassidy brothers, Sean and David Cassidy. But we love coming here during Christmas, and we've loved coming here during Christmas, but we always come from 4, 5, 6 nights. I think the longest we've stayed is 6 nights. And we were really ready to come home. We thought, that's not really the sweet spot. But 4 was not enough. 5 nights is just enough. Believe me, after 5 nights, this is my 5th night. Tomorrow, I'm ready to go back to Florida. I'm ready to go back to the sunshine, get back on the tennis court, the beach. I'm ready. But for 5 nights, it's great to be here during the Christmas season. It's great to experience the cold weather. It was really cold. When I first got here, I flew down from Rochester, New York, where my mom is still living, 90 years young. And so I went from Florida to Rochester, and then when I flew in here, it was 26 degrees that first day, and windy. And so that was really cold. But believe me, I've been in Florida, and it's been cold when it's been 60. So thanks for checking in. All right, Tom, thanks for checking in. All right, love to see you here. But 5 nights is perfect. New York City, experience Christmas, Macy's, tree at Rockefeller Center, Broadway musicals, and then, you know what, you're ready to get out of here. But this has been a great trip, and I was a little bit wondering how great it was going to be, because this is my first time solo in the city during Christmas time. Now, when I first came down to New York in 1983 to take the New York City police test, I had my mother and my aunt with me. And the city was really crappy and dangerous then. I have people messaging me now, oh, be careful, Cliff, be careful in that cesspool. Listen, the city's never been cleaner. And I'm going to roll some video. You can check it out. I have it on still frame. Here, if I'm going to roll some video. I didn't take a lot of video, but I took some video around. Let's play some video right now. But you'll see, I haven't even seen, okay, I've seen probably 4 to 5, maybe homeless people. You know, not very many. Manhattan, Midtown, really clean, really safe. There's a million families here with their young kids, 5, 6, 7 years old, and running around just loving Times Square, loving the restaurants. They're out here enjoying themselves. And yet, I get these messages, be careful, Cliff, I would never go to that cesspool. Let me know if you're in the chat and you're watching live. Would you come to New York City? Have you come to New York City? Have you experienced it? Would you want to do it? I encourage you to do it, experience it. It's safe, believe me. I know things happen. We've had a few things happen recently. Even one of our LA Sheriff's employees got stabbed at Macy's a few weeks ago. Listen, bad things happen. All in all, the news really paints a picture that is not accurate as to what's going on here during Christmas. Let's roll the video a little bit. Here's the tree, pretty big Christmas tree at Fox Square, right out there where they film Fox News and Martha McCallum and The Five, and all the Fox shows are right there at Fox Square, right on 6th Avenue, and it's just down from the Hilton. So this is down about 49th and 50th Streets. And so I walked past here yesterday, and a lot of times they'll be filming live out there, like in the morning, Fox and Friends, and that's inside the studio right there, and you can hardly see, but it had, now listen, right there is the Cartier building, and they got the Jaguar coming from the roof, and it's really, at night, it is really, really beautiful. That's on 5th Avenue, and you got a lot of stuff happening there on 5th Avenue. St. Patrick's Cathedral, and there's St. Patrick's Cathedral right there, which is going to be just down, almost right across from where the Rockefeller Center is, right for where the tree is, and we're going to see that. There's Saks, 5th Avenue, and they do an unbelievable light show there at night, and there's a schedule. You can get an app, and you can watch it and film it, and I didn't do that this year. And believe me, a few minutes or a half an hour before that show starts, it's packed. So big crowds here in New York while I was here, amazingly big. But so that's St. Patrick's Cathedral. And if you're listening on one of the podcast platforms, we're talking about my trip here in New York City. There's the tree, Rockefeller Center. Hey, after you're done listening, head on over later to the YouTube channel and check out the video. And you'll see what I'm talking about here. I ran some video, and I'm playing it right now here on the YouTube channel. There's a skating rink at Rockefeller Center. Just beautiful, and they have beautiful music playing. I don't have it playing right now because, of course, copyright warnings will come up on my YouTube channel, and they'll give me a strike. So we didn't want that. But look at the crowds, the people, and people are just having a great time. And so Rockefeller Center is definitely a must-see. And from the Hilton where I'm at, it's about 3 blocks down from the Hilton. You know, where we're located at 6th and 53rd, look at this gym inside the Hilton. Unbelievable. I mean, it's a great gym. I got several great workouts in. Right now, you can look at how empty it was at noon. There's about, what, it looks maybe 10 treadmills, 7 or 8 bikes. Actually, a pretty good assortment of free weights and some cable machines. And there's a squat rack. And now here I was down coming out of the, I was actually at the intermission of a theater, of a show I saw, which was The Outsiders. That's where I was filming right now. You see the marquee right there, The Outsiders, you know, based on, really, I think, a movie with Paul Newman. They always reference the movie in the show. The Outsiders, here's the playbill. There's the Lion King, is right down the street. And I'm in the theater district, and you can see, look at those streets. They're clean. You see, they're clean. There's nobody hanging around, no beggars around. It was just felt very safe. Believe me, it's much safer than Los Angeles. And there is the theater district, one of the streets. I think I'm on 43rd, 44th Street, right around there, just off of Times Square. The Outsiders, that was a great show. The Outsiders was a really great show, really about a clash of 2 classes of people, the greasers and the socs, they call them. A young cast, and there they are right there, pictured on the marquee, or the post bill. There's the marquee right there, The Outsiders. great musical, and really, really good. Enjoyed it. 2.5-hour show, and it was really great. Look at you got the people. There are those little bike carts. They take people. Look at them in a Santa outfit, and they blaring Christmas music. That's the atmosphere you get when you're here in Manhattan. It's really Christmassy. These guys that are biking people around, and they're blaring their music and taking people back to their hotels or to the shows, and it's just and now I traditionally get all my tickets from the TKS booth right there in Times Square. I don't know if I'm going to have a video of that or not, but every day at 3 p.m. they release tickets for the shows that night. Not every show is going to be on discount, but there's a lot of them. Usually 10, 12, 14 shows are going to be on discount. And so you wait in line. When I first got here on Sunday, I had to wait in line for an hour and a half, but that was because people were waiting in line for the matinee that day and for the evening shows. And then you get usually $300 to $500 tickets for anywhere from $80 to $100, right in that range. There's usually 30 to 50% off the regular price of the ticket. These are tickets that haven't sold in many times. Like that night, the first night I was there, Sunday, which I saw, the first show I saw was Death Becomes Her, with Megan Hilty. She was on a TV show called Smash, and she's very popular. This was a really great musical, Death Becomes Her. And so that was my first show, and I had a box seat. Probably if you bought those from the box office or a ticket broker, probably $300, $400, $500 for that ticket. I got it for $160 some. Just great. Great show. Box seats. I love box seats, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. But so getting the tickets at the TKS booth in Times Square, 30 to 50% off usually. Great shows, and then there's people from the shows that are walking around, usually actors who act. They may not be in the show they're promoting, but they're working actors, and they go around and they answer your questions you have about the show. And then you put the app on your phone, the TKS app, so as you approach the ticket booth, you have 2 or 3 choices in case they come off the board or off the app. You know there's no more tickets left. You have to have plan B ready to go. And boy, never had a bad seat. Sometimes it's orchestra, 3rd, 4th row back. And that's the way to go. But you can always buy your tickets from a ticket broker or right at a box office or one of the outlets or apps you can get on your phone. There's a lot of ticket broker apps out there. But I like the TKS booth. It's very popular. Now, during this rush season, the front of the line is not available. But when that's available, if you've seen a show within the past 5 days and there's a big long line, you just show your ticket stub and then you go to the front of the line area, and usually there's only 3 to 4 people in that line. So even if there's a line around the block, if you have a previous ticket stub, you don't have to wait in that line. And that really, but for the past week up to the next 2 weeks, that's not available just because there's so many people here seeing so many shows. Let's run some more video right here in the theater district and see what we're looking at here. Got the NYPD car there. There's a famous Booth Theater. We've seen a lot of shows there at the Booth Theater. I'm trying to think the last one we saw, which was, it escapes me. I don't have notes here. I'm going live off the top of my head. Oh my goodness, I can say The Hunchback of Notre Dame, oh my God, I can't think of the actor. God, Bradley Cooper, yeah, right there at the Booth Theater. That was a really good one. There's the Music Box Theater right there. And so some streets have 2 or 3 famous theaters right there's Times Square. Look at that crowd in Times Square. Look at that crowd. Look, I gotta freeze that. Look at all those people there. They're there with family, kids, young women by themselves. I saw a lot of young ladies and women. They're alone on the subway. They feel safe. They are safe. Believe me, New York is safe. Things happen. You got to pay attention. Be aware of your surroundings. What do I teach you? What do I train you on? Be self-aware. You don't hunker down in your room. Don't hunker down in your house. You don't have to, be locked up under house arrest. Get out in the world and live, but be self-aware of what's going on. Be aware, what if something goes down? If there's an active shooter, where would I go? Where's my exits? You can scan real quick. Pay attention to who's around you. After a while, if you can get an idea if someone maybe is mentally ill, don't lock eyes with them. There's certain skills you can develop. You're watching, but you're not watching, paying attention to what's going on. You're going to stay alive, not get hurt, not be sucked into a situation. Listen, New York City, it's a great time. Come, enjoy yourself. I did. And this is Times Square at night, right after my show was done. The Outsiders, I took some video. And with all these, with all the marquees lit up, I mean, Times Square is just like daylight. And a lot of energy, music, and street performers. And it's fun. And you can feel safe. You're safe. And this is probably, see, now we're down at Broadway and 7th come together right there. This is probably 46th or 7th Street right there. So to walk back to the Hilton, which is 53rd, it's only 6-7 blocks away. So I got the sound off, but there's music blaring all over the place, and a lot of people walking around. Look at them. I mean, it's crowded right there. If you don't like to be in and amongst crowds, may not be for you. Today I walked, I always have to visit Macy's at 34th Street, just like the movie Miracle on 34th Street. Here it is, 34th and 6th Avenue. I didn't go in this year. I didn't go inside. Usually I run around. For 27 years with my wife, I definitely would spend a lot of time inside Macy's. Well, guess what? I'm alone this year. And so I don't have to go in Macy's. But it's fun to go in Macy's. But this year I was on a mission. I was actually going to what they call the High Line. And the High Line, I've wanted to go for a few years. A High Line is an old elevated railway that's been converted into a walking space. I walked it probably 25 or 30 blocks. I walked it for about 45 minutes. I don't know exactly how long it is. And it's got a lot of benches. It's elevated from street level. The area that I walked was it's up probably around 30 feet in the air. And it's got a lot of trees and bushes, and it's got a lot of benches, so you can take a nice walk. And it's just a little bit wider than the railroad tracks were. And it's converted into a walking path. And it's really neat. I actually thought today it would be kind of deserted, but there was a lot of people walking on the High Line. And it's down in the southern part of the island, Manhattan, down near Chelsea area. And check it out, the High Line. I'm definitely going to go back and walk it from end to end, wherever that is. But I probably walked 8 miles today. But I was on a mission to walk down to the High Line. So I was walking from 53rd and 6th all the way down to 23rd Street, right, and then across to 10th Avenue, and then to 20th Street I got on. I walked up the stairs to the High Line, and then I did my walking all the way back up to 35 or 36th Street. Right, it ends right in there somewhere, and I don't think I have video of that, but that's where I was on the way, and I said, wait, I got to take some video of Macy's for you tonight. I wanted to make sure that I did. Now, listen, like I said earlier, we had an employee from the LA Sheriff's Department actually get stabbed in this Macy's a couple weeks ago. Now, I don't know the exact circumstances on that, but there's always a chance that things can happen. I feel safe in New York. That's all I'm going to tell you. I feel very safe. And so here's Macy's, and that's where they had the Thanksgiving Day parade, and they run everybody with all the balloons down past. It's right off 6th, so that's not the area right there where the parade goes. But look at the size of that Macy's. It runs blocks, and I think it's 7 stories high. You can get lost in this Macy's for sure, because there's a basement level. At one time there was 4 to 5 restaurants inside Macy's, 2 or 3 downstairs, and a coffee shop and a Starbucks. 2 coffee shops definitely inside Macy's, one downstairs, one upstairs. But it's unbelievably big. And then up above on the upper floors, they have the oldest escalators you're going to ever see. They're made of wood. Now, the Lion King is playing there at the Minskoff Theater. We ended up seeing The Lion King about 5 years ago. It was never on discount. Finally, we decided, forget it, we'll go somewhere, get the tickets. And we were kind of unimpressed, but I think, kids love it. I expected a little bit more after we waited about 10 years to go see it. Maybe that's why I was expecting so much, and it did not pay off. All right, I'm back at Times Square again, everybody. Look at these marquees. I mean, the displays of these lights are just amazing. And like I said, it's like daylight there at midnight. Look at these crowds. Oh, I love these guys in these bikes taking people around, and they're just blaring their Christmas music, and then the atmosphere is unbelievable. And there's what are we? We're back. Oh, we're now. I'm looping this video. That's why we're repeating. Back to Fox Square. Fox Christmas, but just great. I think if you went, you would love it. The energy is really amazing. And I did a lot of short videos I did a couple short videos from Central Park. I don't have any video of Central Park. I went live a couple times in Central Park. Can you imagine? It's 800 some acres. 42 million people a year visit Central Park. Central Park is just unbelievable big. There's ballparks in there. There's a big lake in there. There's a running path around there. There's a little sailboat pond, and there's playgrounds, and there's a skating rink. Woolman Rink is in there. But it did a lot of positivity videos, and I put out a lot of stuff. And one thing really hit me that I have to remind myself all the time. First of all, listen. The attackers come because I talk about positivity, motivation, inspiration, how we can live our best life. A lot of people look at it as la land and not accepting reality. Listen, it's not that life doesn't happen. But believe me, if you're a friend of mine, you know I've been really in a winter in my life, and it's been a severe winter, right? We all go through winters. We all have seasons of life, and we all are going to be hit with winters. Some are mild. Some are unbelievably brutal. I've been going through a brutal winter. But since I know seasons for 6,000 recorded years, I know every winter is followed by spring. So that's one way I'm getting through my season of winter. And when life slaps you in the face, it's not that we don't acknowledge reality. We don't sit there and say, it's not snowing, it's sunny out. No, it's snowing. Now, but what we do with that is we go skiing. We don't sit there and freeze and shiver. We ski. We go to the lodge. We have a cup of hot chocolate. It's what we do with it. But life is going to slap us in the face. But when life slaps us in the face, and I wrote this down as a note to myself, this is just for me. When life slaps you across the face, I got this from Napoleon Hill, who wrote The Laws of Success. When life slaps you across the face, you get to decide, will I curse it or bless it as the teacher that it is? When someone betrays you, you get to decide, will I become resentful or will I become wiser and stronger in boundaries? You cannot control what happens, but you always control what it becomes. Now here's the lesson that I always have to give myself. This is the warning that I have to give myself. It's not for you, this is for me, but you can listen in. And before I even give the warning, it comes after this note that I took. This is the secret of positive mental attitude. It doesn't remove difficulty, it redefines it. Reframes it. We can reframe things. We can reframe past experiences. We can pre-frame things that are going to be coming up. It doesn't remove difficulty, it redefines it. It doesn't stop the storm, it teaches you how to walk through it with purpose. Now here's the warning that I have to always tell myself. That's why I wrote it down in my journal. Warning. Warning, Will Robinson. Warning, there will be people, and I've come to recognize this as a true thing. I've experienced this firsthand. There will be people who hate your mindset. They will mock your optimism. They will call you delusional, unrealistic, or naive. Ignore them. See, I have to remind myself, ignore those people. Most people are addicted to mediocrity, aren't they? Not you and I. We're always trying to live our better life, our best life. What can we do better tomorrow than we did today? Because when we enhance our personal skills, our communication skills, how we handle life, it affects the people around us in a positive way, and there's no greater gift than positively impacting other people. I mean, it's not bullshit. They will call you delusional, unrealistic, or naive. Ignore them. Most people are addicted to mediocrity. They've made a habit of hopelessness. They are threatened by anyone who dares to rise, while they've made comfort with crawling. You must cut off mental infection at the source. Surround yourself only with those who speak life. Avoid those who feed your fear. Environment is stronger than will. If you spend your time in darkness, don't expect your mind to shine. You must choose carefully what you allow to influence your attitude. So I have to always remind myself. Because when we get the keyboard warriors, or the people who like to snipe from the background, who like to bang on those keys from mommy's basement, right? There's a tendency to pull back, at least in my experience. There's been a tendency to be hesitant to share an opinion or a belief, but we have to exercise our free speech, and not only just free speech, but things that we think are going to serve others, regardless of the fact that there will be a few who are going to attack. And that reminds me of why I like to go live. Not only for the comments, but it's more important, right, to get out there amongst them, like I'm doing here, and you can do the same. Get out there in the world as your true, authentic self, and not be too hung up. It's good to always be trying to improve, but not get too hung up and try to be perfect. Try to over-edit things, to try to wait until it's the perfect time or the perfect opportunity. Start from where you're at. You know where you want to go, and take the first steps. And they may not be perfect, but along the way you'll make adjustments. The sailboat that never leaves port won't have any nicks or bumps or bruises on it, but it's not really going to experience its full potential. Get out there in deep water. The winds of adversity or opportunity blow on us all. It's how we set our sail. I like that metaphor. It makes good sense to me. I hope you enjoyed the video. The little bit that I took around Manhattan. This year I really wanted to, take time to experience everything that I was seeing and feeling. And I did walk a lot on this trip. And today I just walked, like I said, 8 or 9 miles, I believe. I'll have to check that. I know it was over 15,000 steps, according to the iPhone, so I know. But it was a great day to walk. It was about 48 degrees today, which is very comfortable. A light wind. And you find when there's no wind in here in Manhattan, even if it's 30, 35, it's comfortable. Oh, I forgot to mention, everybody, I don't have video or pictures here on the podcast and on YouTube, but I met up with a friend of mine who's also a retired NYPD lieutenant, Patrick Davis. I interviewed him on one of my podcasts before, so retired NYPD lieutenant, and I hooked up with him. He picked me up here at the Hilton, and he took me to his body art studio, body art. And he took me down to the Soho area of Manhattan, really quiet neighborhood where his studio is. And it's not yoga. It really is physical therapy-based movements. But it's quite challenging. When you're done, a lot of stretching, balance movements, twisting movements, and it's, I was a little concerned. I go, listen, I have no injuries, Pat. I don't want you to get me involved in something that's going to hurt. He said, don't worry, it's low impact. And it's the reason I was hesitant, because he and Kelsey, this gal at the studio, they call it flying. It's acro yoga. So he holds her in different positions, and they call it flying. You know, she's on his legs balanced, and I actually did a little bit of it myself. But it's really challenging. So that was fun to do, something a little bit different. And I made some good friends down there in the class. There was about 8 or 9 of us in the class. You do it on a yoga mat, and low light, candles are all around, and the atmosphere, really Zen type music. And so I did that 2 nights ago. So I didn't go to the theater that night. And then Pat was taking me back from Soho, back to Midtown, traffic not moving. I eventually said, hey, I got it from here. I just jumped out of his Jeep, and I walked back the mile or so to the Hilton. But that was a new experience this trip. So this trip, only two Broadway musicals, Death Becomes Her and The Outsiders. But I love Broadway theater. I think over the 27 years that my wife I've been coming here, and we kept all of our playbills. We have over 90 playbills, 90 Broadway shows that we have seen over the 27 years we've come together. And this was a great trip. I was a little bit hesitant, didn't know how it was going to be. Coming solo, I love the city just as much alone. And I was able to experience the energy, Christmas, the love, the atmosphere, seeing all my friends here at the Hilton. Hey, if you own here, same people work here, they recognize you, they become your friends over the years. Even though they're only going to see you once or twice a year, it all works out great. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks. I wanted to go live and show a little bit of video from Manhattan. There's St. Patrick's Cathedral. Thanks for checking in. It was a great trip. There's the tree, Rockefeller Center. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We are building quite an army, a community of progress here. And you're going to love the content. Subscribe, hit that bell so you're notified when the next video comes out. And so I got 2 podcasts going right here on the same YouTube channel. We got the Lion-Hearted Blue Police podcast, and then the Cliff Yates Show, which is all positivity, personal growth, self-improvement. And we got some exciting guests coming up for 2026. They're already lined up. They're scheduled. You're going to see it, enjoy it. And the podcast is not only going to be here on the YouTube channel, it is going to be on all the podcast platforms because that's what we do. I'm getting excited just talking about it. You know I love you. I'll see you in the next video. That's all for tonight, everybody. If you're listening or watching on the playback, not live, go ahead, leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up. It tells the computer, hey, people are interacting with the show, and they're going to show other people who are interested in the same kind of thing. They'll show the episode so you can play a part in supporting the channel. No money, just click like. All right, that's it. I'm out. Bye.